الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. قال الله تبارك وتعالى: إنني أنا الله لا إله إلا أنا فاعبدني وأقم الصلاة لذكري. اللهم صل على سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا محمد وبارك وسلم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. رب زدني علما. Respected ulama kiram, elders and most beloved friends, indeed it humbles me to stand before you as someone with so black hair, where there are elders here present, where there are ulama with so much of knowledge. But the task which has been allocated to me is not an easy task. It is something which is weighty. It is something which is mountainous in speaking about the lives of the Sahaba radiallahu ta'ala anhum ajma'in. My dear respected elders and most beloved friends, if you saw the poster, it is titled Azamatu-Ahlil-Bayt-was-Sahaba. This is a concept of reviving as well as drawing importance upon the lives of the Sahaba radiallahu ta'ala anhum ajma'in, so that their love, so that their reverence penetrates our hearts and envelopes our lives. In a time of celebrities and sports stars and fake idols, the names of Sahaba and their lives need to be revived, so that once again, more than anyone else, our youth can again tread a path where they can have heroes who they can truly look up to. Ghalib ibn Mas'ud radiallahu ta'ala alayhi used to say that if you want to take idols and if you want to look for role models, then look for those people who have already passed away. And he described them and he said, أُولَٰئِكَ أَصْحَابُ مُحَمَّدٍ, they are the companions of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. اختارهم الله لصحبة نبيه, Allah has chosen them for the companionship of the most beloved Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. وَنَقْلِ دِينِهِ, and these Sahaba were responsible for the transmission of deen from Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam through the generations that flowed and followed. There are people in the world today who wish to break this link between the Ummah and the Sahaba. They wish to cast aspersions upon the personalities of the Sahaba. They wish to denigrate and humiliate these personalities. And those people are people who have broken their link with deen. The Sahaba are the bridge who join us and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They are the bridge who join us in our deen. Whoever safeguards this bridge has safeguarded his iman, and whoever burns this bridge has burnt his iman. Nevertheless, coming to the topic of today, I don't even know where to begin with this topic, the legacy of Hazrat Umar radiallahu anhu. Truly speaking, if we have to speak about the legacy of Hazrat Umar radiallahu anhu, it might call for a conference or a symposium or something over a few days, where various aspects of the life of Hazrat Umar radiallahu anhu can be discussed. But in a few moments, we will try to do justice on the whole, to see what lessons we can take from the life of Hazrat Umar radiallahu anhu, which can immediately impact upon our lives. There are so many different aspects in the life of Umar radiallahu anhu. His leadership, his khilafat, his vision, the way he saw the world, his vision for the future. There are so many different aspects to discuss about Umar radiallahu anhu, which would take lengthy amounts of time. But there is one aspect which is very apt for each and every one of us. Let us look at the life of Umar radiallahu anhu, where he began and where he ended. Hazrat Umar radiallahu anhu, person just needs to imagine there is a conference around the Kaaba in the Haram. Who are the attendees? People like Abu Jahl, the arch enemy of Islam, Abu Lahab, Utbah, Utayba, Shayba, arch enemies of Islam. And what is the topic that they are discussing? What is the mission that they are detailing? Who has the courage to go and kill Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? From all of those arch enemies who were sitting there, no one stood up except for one man. And he took the sword, put it around his neck, and he said, "Today I am going to end the life of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam." And we know the incident. He goes out and he gets into a skirmish with the Sahabi, who then directs him to the house of his sister and his brother-in-law who had accepted Islam. But I want to show you where he began. What courage, what boldness, what hard-heartedness he must have had at that stage to stand up to say that I will kill Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when no one else dared to stand up. Even when they plotted to kill Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam had already gone for embarked on the hijrah, they had to set up a task team, so to say. They had to all get together and say that each person, from every tribe, we get one person to come together. Why? Because the Banu Hashim mustn't take revenge on a particular tribe. So all of the tribes got together and they volunteered one man to kill Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But here Umar radiallahu anhu stands up himself and he sets out. From going out to kill Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, there is a narration, Hajjatul Wada'. Now is the season of Hajj. It is on the plains of Arafat. Thousands of Sahaba are gathered. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam is in attendance, addressing the Sahaba. Inna Allah ta'ala baha bi'ashiyati ahli Arafat 'amma wa baha bika ya Umar khassa. From going out to take the life of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, towards the end of his life, addresses the Sahaba and says that, "O my Sahaba, on this day of Arafah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is extremely pleased with you. Allah is in fact boasting about you to his angels." Then Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam turns to Umar radiallahu anhu, "O Umar, that Allah is exceptionally pleased with you." From going out to kill Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, a time comes when Umar radiallahu anhu wants to go and perform Umrah before Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam had gone out. And he comes and he seeks permission from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and says, "I want to go out and perform Umrah." Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam gives him the go-ahead and the permission to go ahead with his Umrah. But Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, this is riwayat of Muslim, "Ya akhi, ashrikna fi du'aik." Oh my beloved brother, when you're in front of Baytullah, then don't forget my name also. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam is telling Umar radiallahu anhu. Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu used to say that ما أحب أن أكون لي بها ما طلعت عليه الشمس. That if you had to put everything in this world on one side, and this just the statement of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, "Ya akhi ashrikna fi du'aik," the statement is more beloved to me than anything else in this world. From going out to kill Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, today when we go in front of Rawdah Mubarak, is it possible to stand there and not send our salat and salam upon, or not to make our salams to Umar radiallahu anhu? From going out to take the head of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, today Umar radiallahu anhu sleeps at the feet of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now what does that teach us? What does that teach us? How does that have an impact on our life? See, Allah has given us two sets of qualities. Allah has given us evil qualities, devilish traits. But Allah has also given each of us angelic qualities. Whichever one of the two we choose to nurture, whichever one of the two we choose to look after, that is what will prosper. If we look after our good qualities, we choose to nurture our good qualities, then like a garden, beautiful flowers of akhlaq will flow. Beautiful a'mal will emanate from the body. Then beautiful words will come out from our mouths. Umar radiallahu anhu was nothing other than inspired. He was rajulun mulham. He was a man who was inspired. What he chose to nurture and nourish, so too it prospered and flourished. Allah chose to take work from him in that way. That he chose to look after his good. Allah made him the Khalifa of a Khilafat which spanned over 2.2 million square miles. From Madinatul Munawwara to the shore of Gaza, past Gaza, Palestine or Sham, from Madinatul Munawwara past Iraq, from Madinatul Munawwara past the Persian or Byzantine Empire, from Madinatul Munawwara past into northern Africa, into Egypt. Where he started from and where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took, what work Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took from him. And this all comes from good actions, good amal. In today's time, this is a time, people talk. People want to talk. This is a time, they say, of rhetoric, of politics, of the right wing and populism and whatever it is. But this is a time when we need to be talking about amal. The talking is done. It is the amal which need to follow. Going out to kill Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, a time comes to being that man who Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam described, and he said that ما في السماء ملك إلا وهو يوقر عمر, that there is no angel in the sky except that he reveres Umar radiallahu anhu. وَمَا مِنْ شَيْطَانٍ عَلَى الْأَرْضِ إِلَّا وَهُوَ يَفْرُقُ مِنْ عُمَرٍ. And neither is there any devil walking on this earth except if he had to see Umar radiallahu anhu, he would immediately flee. But where did it start for Umar radiallahu anhu? There is a narration in Kanzul Ummal. Umar radiallahu anhu himself describes, and he says that I decided to one day follow Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. فَوَجَدْتُهُ قَدْ سَبَقَنِي إِلَى الْمَسْجِدِ. I found that Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam had already preceded me, and he was already in the Haram of Makkah. So Umar radiallahu anhu says, I went and I hid away. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was reciting Surah al-Haqqah. And Rasulullah, so Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was reciting Surah al-Haqqah. In fact, it was the practice even of the arch enemies of Islam that they used to hide away and they used to listen to the Holy Quran. This is a gift which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given this ummah. Today I was just, the Imam read وَيْلٌ لِكُلِّ هُمَزَةٍ لُمَزَةٍ الَّذِي جَمَعَ مَالَهُ وَعَدَّ لَهُ. And these reminders come to us at every salah. If we only listen with the ears of pondering and of hidayat. Today a friend was telling me that, such is the condition that a man just looks at it. You don't need to go to the bank to find your bank balance anymore. Now he just logs on to the app. What's the bank balance? Every few minutes logging on to the app. What's the bank balance? What's the bank balance? What's the bank balance? Allah in the Holy Quran says, الَّذِي جَمَعَ مَالَهُ وَعَدَّدَ وَيْلٌ لِكُلِّ هُمَزَةٍ لُمَزَةٍ. Wail, destruction to those people. Who are those people? Constantly checking bank balance. He thinks his bank balance is going to give him long life in this world. Nevertheless, coming back to the point, Umar radiallahu anhu says that I followed Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He was reciting Surah al-Haqqah. I entertained the thought in my mind, شَاعِرٌ كَمَا قَالَتْ قُرَيْشٌ. Such was the beauty of the Holy Quran, that he said that I genuinely believe that he is a poet, like how Quraysh are saying. No sooner had I entertained the thought, Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, reads the ayat, وَمَا هُوَ بِقَوْلِ شَاعِرٍ قَلِيلًا مَا تُؤْمِنُونَ. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam is not a poet. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam is not a poet. Umar says, I got a fright. He said, I barely entertained the thought that he is a poet, and he recites that I am not a poet. So he said, the next thought came into my mind, كَاهِنٌ كَمَا قَالَتْ قُرَيْشٌ. He must be a fortune teller, like how Quraysh are saying he's a fortune teller. He says, no sooner had that thought entered my mind, Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam recites the Holy Quran, the verse of the Holy Quran, وَمَا هُوَ بِقَوْلِ كَاهِنٍ قَلِيلًا مَا تَذَكَّرُونَ. Neither is Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam a poet, nor is he a fortune teller. Umar radiallahu anhu says that this was the first positive impression of Islam on my heart. And what was it? The Holy Quran. It is this Holy Quran which we need to treasure, hold on to. It was the verses of the Holy Quran which inspired him to accept Islam. Innani ana Allah, la ilaha illa ana fa'budni. When he came onto these verses, Innani ana Allah, Innani ana Allah. Who is there that is to be worshipped except Allah? The life of Umar radiallahu anhu was transformed and changed. Let us move forward. Umar radiallahu anhu accepts Islam. There was such a level of what we would say maybe celebration at the Islam of Umar radiallahu anhu. Jibreel alayhi salam descends and he says that, O Nabi of Allah, are you happy with the Islam of Umar? Nabi sallallahu says that we are happy with his Islam, or with him coming into Islam. Jibreel alayhi salatu wasalam says to Nabi sallallahu Istabashara ahlu samai bi Islami Umar. That leave alone the inhabitants of the earth, even the inhabitants and the angels in the heavens are, so to say, celebrating that Umar radiallahu anhu accepted Islam. And this happiness of the angels is not confined to Umar radiallahu anhu or restricted to him. My dear friends, there are incidents narrated where people made dua and the doors of the heavens actually used to shake. And angels used to say, Oh Allah, let us be the ones to go down to fulfill the need of the bondsman of yours indeed. That is when we make our voices known in the asman. As I said, it is a time of action. It is a time of dua, it is a time of amal. The more we do, the more familiar we become in the heavens. Let us move forward. Umar radiallahu anhu accepts Islam. Everybody is happy with his Islam. Umar is known by a title, Umar al-Faruq. Umar al-Faruq. Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhuma used to have a very close relationship with Umar radiallahu anhu. In fact, Umar radiallahu anhu used to say regarding Ibn Abbas, إِنَّهُ فَتًى كَهُولٌ لَهُ لِسَانٌ سَؤُولٌ وَقَلْبٌ عَقُولٌ. Umar radiallahu anhu really praised Ibn Abbas because of his knowledge, his curiosity with regards to deen. Young boy, Ibn Abbas. Might have been 12 perhaps at the time of the demise of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Fast forward 2.5 years through the Khilafat of Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu. Roughly we would say that when Umar radiallahu anhu took the reins of Khilafat, Ibn Abbas might have been 17 or 18 years old, give or take, approximately. But such was the knowledge of Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu that Umar radiallahu anhu included him in the special shura of his, what we would say is his parliament, for lack of a better word. So Ibn Abbas one day came to Umar radiallahu anhu and said that I want to know something. لِأَيِّ شَيْءٍ سُمِّيتَ الْفَاروق. Why are you known as Al-Faruq? Where you got this title or this nickname from? Or this? So Umar radiallahu anhu responds and he said that أسلم حمزة قبلي بثلاثة أيام ثم فتح الله صدري. Hamza radiallahu anhu accepted Islam 3 days before me. Then Allah inspired my heart and opened my heart. I came and I accepted Islam. When I accepted Islam, I came to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and I asked Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, أَلَسْنَا عَلَى الْحَقِّ إِنْ حُيِّنَا وَإِنْ مُتْنَا. That, O Nabi of Allah, I have a question. Are we not on the truth for as long as we live and after we die? Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam responded and said, أَنْتُمْ عَلَى الْحَقِّ إِنْ حُيِّتُمْ وَإِنْ مُتْتُمْ. Yes, definitely, we have accepted Islam. We are definitely on the truth for as long as we live and after we die. Look at the statement of Umar radiallahu anhu. He says that, فَفِينَا الْإِخْتِفَاء. O Nabi of Allah, then I want to know, at that time Islam was still being kept hidden, secret. O Nabi of Allah, why are we keeping this matter of deen quiet? Why are we keeping it hidden? Sahaba radiallahu anhum say that on the right hand side of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Hamza stood. On the left hand side, Umar radiallahu anhu stood. And like this with the whole group of Sahaba, with the two bodyguards, Hamza Asadullah and Umar al-Faruq, they proceed towards the Haram in Mecca. And for the first time in the history of Islam, the Muslims performed Salah openly in the Haram. It was on this occasion that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam gave Umar radiallahu anhu the title of Al-Faruq, the one who is a distinguisher between truth and falsehood. But we have to appreciate this title. One is, anyone in the street can say, anyone can say, my love, my beloved, but if a person's mother has to say it, how much more of an impact it has on a person. A person's mother is saying it. In the Holy Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, نِعْمَ الْعَبْدِ إِنَّهُ أَوَّابٌ, regarding Ayyub alayhi salam. What a great servant Ayyub is of ours. That is not anybody praising. Who is praising? Allah is praising. So this title of Al-Faruq was not given by anyone. It was given by Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam himself. Let us move forward. So we know how Al-Faruq, where the title of Al-Faruq came from. My dear friends, we are living in such a time where there is open corruption, there is open looting, there is open wastage. And this is something which we can take from the life of Umar radiallahu anhu, on how he took a stock on himself. That muhasabah that he had on himself is truly amazing. And that muhasabah, or that level of control which he had over his family, is also something to marvel at. And this obviously then translated to his khilafat, and it translated to all those who ruled under him, and to all those who served under him. There is a narration that one day Ibn Umar radiallahu anhu, his son, the son of Umar radiallahu anhu, had some meat, and he collected some money and he was going to eat this meat. As it happened, Umar radiallahu anhu came and passed, and came there by him. So Umar radiallahu anhu asked Abdullah bin Umar that, what is this here? So he said, this is meat. So he said, meat? So Ibn Umar said, I felt less for it. We'll say, so to say, I felt less for it. I was desiring for it. Look at the response of Umar radiallahu anhu. He said that, do you fulfill your desire of everything you want? Everything you want you just have? Look at that level of consciousness that he had. One day Ibn Umar radiallahu anhu saved some money. I thought of this when this whole, if you keep up with the news, the president at the moment, they accusing him of some 500,000 rand or something that was given to him. Then he said it went to his son and whatnot. And when I heard of this, immediately my mind went to this incident of Umar radiallahu anhu and his son. One day Ibn Umar, the son of Umar, saved up some money, some capital. He bought some camels. And he took the camels and he left it in the Baytul Mal, the pastures of the Baytul Mal, which was open for all the Muslims to use. And he left it there to graze. And after a while, faqad samina, the camels became fat. They got a good size. So to say, they were in the feedlot. So they came out, he wanted to now sell them. He took them to the market. There, he just puts it on the market. Umar radiallahu anhu comes past. Whose camels are these? They say, these are your son's camels, Ibn Umar's camels. He goes to his son and he tells his son, where you got these camels from? He said, I saved some money, put them in the Baytul Mal, they grazed, and now I'm selling them. So Ibn Umar radiallahu anhu told his son that, do you know that by putting your camels in the Baytul Mal, they will say that the son of Umar put his camels and he was given preferential treatment because his father is the Khalifa. Look at that level of accountability. Umar radiallahu anhu said to his son, sell the camels, whatever your capital was, you recoup it, you can take your capital back, and whatever profit you make from there, you give it back to the public treasury. One day, not all of this will filter down. One day, there was a governor of Umar radiallahu anhu. He put a butler by his door. He put, so to say, a guard. The people came to Umar radiallahu anhu and they complained, the governor is inaccessible. Umar radiallahu anhu investigated. So is this true or not? He found it was true. He summoned the governor. He said that, I found that you're putting a guard by your door, which is making you inaccessible to the people. There's a flock of sheep, take the sheep, go and graze it. For 1 year, Umar radiallahu anhu sent that man to graze the sheep. After 1 year, he called him back, said, after his ego had deflated, he said, I raised you there, your ego better be deflated, I'm posting you back there. If I hear you doing that again, I will pull you back. Look at that level of accountability. We can only marvel at these things. One day there was inshallah I will try and wrap up in the next few minutes. There was a Sahabi who was also a governor by the name of Feroz al-Daylami radiallahu anhu. Umar radiallahu anhu heard that the level, Feroz just upgraded his level of eating just a little bit. He was eating just a little bit better than what he used to eat before. Umar radiallahu anhu summoned him. So he comes to the door, and so it happens that there is another youngster who's there at the same time. So they got into a bit of a skirmish. They got into a bit of a fight. So Feroz Daylami gave this youngster one slap. So happened the youngster's nose began to bleed. So they come in front of Umar radiallahu anhu. Umar says, hey, I called you here. What's happening now? The youngster bleeding nose. What's happening here? So the youngster says, no, Feroz slapped me. Feroz radiallahu anhu said, Umar, with respect, you invited me. This lady is gate crashing. It's gate crashing. So Umar radiallahu anhu said, but Feroz, you're not supposed to hit him. Al-Qisas, Islam is just, Islam is fair. What you did to him, you hurt him, you injured his nose, he'll have to repay the same thing to you. فَجَثَى فَيْرُوزُ عَلَى رُكْبَتَيْهِ. Look at this, a senior Sahabi, Feroz, kneels on he gets onto his knees, ready to receive the punishment. Now look at Umar radiallahu anhu. Umar radiallahu anhu whispers to this youngster, oh youngster, you know who the Sahabi is? There was a false prophet in the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam by the name of Aswad Anasi. And Feroz went and killed Aswad Anasi, who was laying claim to Nubuwat. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Hada abdun salihun, this is a pious person, Feroz Daylami. You want to really slap someone who's got the du'as of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Youngster pulls back. The man has the du'as of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. When he pulls back, Feroz stands up. He says that because I was also in the wrong, but in good faith, O youngster, for you is my armor, for you is my shield, for you is my sword, and here's a whole lot of money, take it and go. Umar radiallahu anhu told this youngster, look, what a prophet you made. You forgave the man. You just had to forgive him, and look how much Allah gave you. Look how much Allah gave you. So these were just some instances of the justice of Umar radiallahu anhu which the world is crying out for. One of the fundamental features in the life of Umar radiallahu anhu was his abstinence from this world. There was an occasion when the Sahaba requested that, oh Umar, he used to wear clothes with patches. Some say 17 patches on his clothes. So the Sahaba went, and Aisha radiallahu anha and his daughter Hafsa radiallahu anha went to him and said that, oh Amirul Mu'mineen, just wear a little bit better clothing. And just open up the dastarkhan just a little bit, so that the envoy, the parties that are coming from all the different parts of the world, they have a dastarkhan to eat on. Umar radiallahu anhu immediately became upset, and he said that, wasn't it that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam once wore a garment that when he wore that garment, the inside was made of such wool that used to scratch his body? Did Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam ever eat 2 full meals a day? There were times on end when Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam never had anything to eat. And oh Hafsa, one day you took the sheet and you folded it 2 times, and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam slept on that. And when he woke up, he said, why did you fold it 2 times? You made me too comfortable in this world. Look at where he was coming from. And one day Umar radiallahu anhu went into the room of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He started crying, and he told Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam that because of all the meager possessions in that room, and Umar radiallahu anhu said to Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam that, O Nabi of Allah, that the rulers of Rome and Persia have so much, and you are sleeping like this on a mat which leaves imprints on your back. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam told him, lahum fi dunya wa lana fil akhirah. Oh Umar, are you still in a deception about this world? It is for them in this world, for us in the hereafter. It is for them in this world. You're still in deception. So look at the tarbiyat and the upbringing, so to say, of Umar radiallahu anhu. And this is what is required. When Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam described the end of time, and we could say perhaps we find these conditions today where the Khuda is sail. We will be like non-entities in this world. We will be like the rubbish which flows on top of the water in a flood with no firmness, no power. Sahaba asked, "Amin qillatina, is it because of our few numbers on that day?" Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Bal antum kathirun, you will have a lot of numbers on that day." So Sahaba asked, "What is the reason then?" He said, "Hubbu dunya wa karahiyatul maut." The reason why you will suffer is because of your love of this world and your dislike for death. So this is one of the fundamental features we can take from the legacy of Umar radiallahu anhu, was his simplicity, his disinterest in this world. And remember, disinterest or zuhud is not that you have little. It is that even if we have a lot, there is that disinterest from this world. It means nothing. I will end off on this incident. Remember where Umar radiallahu anhu started. Let us look at his end. There is a narration. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam told Umar radiallahu anhu, "Shall I not inform you of the condition of the grave? When you are lowered in the grave, two angels will come to you. Their names are Munkar and Nakir. They will have such frightening voices which will echo like thunder, and they will have such piercing eyes which will be more frightening than lightning. They will have a whip or a hammer with them. لو ضرباك بك ضربة واحدة لتصير بك رمادا. You have to get one shot with that whip or that hammer. It is enough to render you into dust. And they will ask you questions. There are three questions. Man Rabbuk, Ma Dinuk, and what do you have to say about Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now look at the response of Umar radiallahu anhu. I want to draw your attention to his confidence of Iman. He says to the Nabi of Allah, "Will I have the composure in the grave like how I have composure today sitting in front of you? Will I have sound mind?" He wasn't talking about the aql, he was talking about Salamatul-Qalb, soundness of the heart. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Yes, Umar, you will have soundness, clarity." So Umar radiallahu anhu said, "I have confidence I will be able to deal with the matter adequately." وَزَادَ عَبْدُ الْوَاحِدْ فِي كِتَابِهِ التَّبْصِيرِ. There is an addition to this narration which goes on to say that Jibreel alayhi salatu wasalam came down and he informed Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam that Umar said that he will be able to deal with the matter adequately. We have additional information that when he is put into the ground and they ask, "Man Rabbuk?" Umar radiallahu anhu will say, "Allahu Rabbi, faman Rabbukuma." Allah is my Lord, who is your Lord? Wal Islamu dini, fama dinukuma. Islam is my religion, my creed. What is your religion? Answering back to the angels. وَنَبِيُّ مُحَمَّدٍ وَنَبِيُّ رَسُولِي وَنَبِيِّ فَمَنْ نَبِيُّكُمَا وَمُحَمَّدُ النَّبِيِّ فَمَنْ نَبِيُّكُمَا. The Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is my Nabi. Who is your Nabi? The angels will respond and say, "Wa ajaba. Really, we do not know. Am anta qad arsalta ilayna? Have you been sent to us? Or have we been sent to you?" That is the confidence of Iman at the time when it matters most. Where he was going out to take the head of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Today he sleeps in the lap of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. If there is any legacy of Umar radiallahu anhu, this is the legacy which each of us need to take. Whatever we choose to nurture and nourish in our lives, that is what will prosper and flourish. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the ability that we nurture our good and that we suppress, that we kill our egos and our evil. Allah give us wa tawfiq wa akhiru da'wana and alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.